Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, I talk about books that shake your soul and stay with you long after the last page. And today I am bringing you one of the most hauntingly powerful novel I have ever read. The Radiance of a Thousand Suns by Mandeep Sodhi Someshwar. This one is not just a story, it's a journey through trauma, resilience, history, and the fierce fire of a feminine strength. If you have ever wondered what it means to survive in the shadow of history's darkest hours or to carry the stories of those who came before you, then this novel is a must read. Today's video is a deep dive, a literary excavation, and the personal reflection all rolled into one. So buckle up, grab a coffee, and let's talk about this. Let's start with the mastermind behind this literary marvel, Mandeep Sodhi Someshwar, an award-winning author. Someshwar's writing blends history, fiction, and a deep understanding of the Indian socio-political landscape. She is known for her ability to weave intricate plots that honor the complexity of India's past, especially through the lens of women's experiences. As she quotes, the power of the story lies in the hands of the storyteller. The novel grounds itself in two major historical moments: the partition of India in 1947 and the anti-Sikh riots of 1984. Both events involved mass violence, displacement, and horrific targeting of minorities, especially women. Someshwar portrays these events not just as a backdrops but as active forces that shape her characters. The horror is never sensationalized but portrayed with chilling. Each line feels deliberate, packed with history and heartbreak. The Radiance of a Thousand Suns is part of her ongoing effort to narrate the buried and broken stories of India. Stories that needs to be remembered, not erased. The novel spans decades and interweaves real historical events like the partition of India in 1947 and the anti-Sikh riots of 1984. But this isn't just historical fiction, it's a deeply emotional feminist tale. It's about trauma, memory, identity, and survival. And through the stories of women like Nooran, Jodh, BG, Nikki, and others, Someshwar shows us the devastating cost of silence and the fierce power of speaking up. Someshwar employs fragmented layered storytelling technique that reflects how memory works, non-linear, emotional, and sometimes blurred. The novel constantly shifts between past and present, forcing the reader to piece together the mystery as Nikki does herself. It's immersive and raw. The prose is lyrical but piercing. Every sentence seems to carry the weight of unspoken histories. There are times when the book reads like a poetry and times when it strikes like a documentary. Nikki, the protagonist, a modern day girl of Punjab, whose seemingly normal life begins to take a drastic turn when she lost her second mother by hurt, Nooran. She represents the second generation, those born after the partition but still shackled by its consequences. Nooran, a Muslim dark-skinned girl brought to Nalwa family while 47's partition era, with an unapologetic personality and non-believer, fearless, rebellious, agnostic, and radical traits, she was shaped by her life experiences. As she mostly quotes, "Look the world in the eye, Puttar." However, her sudden and tragic demise leaves teardrops in the eyes of readers and a question that when we will be free from the cheap mentality people breathing among us who are leaving fungus for our society. Jodh Kaur, a woman survivor who lost a lot throughout her life. Her silence became the bridge to the past, recounting the horrors she faced as a mere child of 6 years during the partition and later during the 1984 riots at the age of 44. She, along with Nooran, is the heart of the novel, fragile, fierce, and courageous. BG and Jinder, representing two very different maternal archetypes, Tradition versus trauma. Both are shaped by the circumstances they endured, and both leave an indelible impact on Nikki. These characters are not just people, they are symbols of generational trauma, the cyclical nature of violence, of resistance, and of healing. Nikki's adventurous birth with the loss of her real mother to find a mother in Nuran, from listening the multidimensional experiences and stories from her father, BG, and Nuran to facing them in real life while fighting the Nuran's case in court at the age of 18, from losing her father to winning the trust of Silence Jyoth long before, from living in the maternal shell with family to experiencing motherhood by herself, from eating churi, pinni to tea and murukku. Nikki did a roller coaster ride full of heartfelt emotions, lessons, and familial love, with life events unfolding in the background parallelly as a shadow from her past to present. We then dive into Joe's timeline set during the partition. Her story is harrowing, with innocence, survival, loss, escape, and then the brutal realities of post partition India. Jodh survives, but not unscathed. The most chilling part, she survives again in 1984, when six were hunted after Indira Gandhi's assassination. Nikki's life is disrupted when she got the news of her father's death. She was heartbroken, and with an unfinished project, a dream of Jinder to document the real life stories of survivors, mostly women, affected during partition and later. Also, when she came to Manhattan to complete the leftover work and experience the after effects of 9/11. It's during this time that Nikki begins to understand the interconnectedness of the women and people in her life and the price they paid for simply surviving. The climax, a reckoning with Joe's long lasting silence and a mystery which unfolded in the past. This book is rich with themes. Here are the major ones. First, partition and riots. The novel doesn't shy away from the brutality of these events. It shows how women's bodies became battlegrounds during 1947 and 1984. Second, feminism and female agency. Every woman in the novel fights in her own way. Some resist loudly, some survive quietly. But all are warriors in a world built against them. Third one, healing and storytelling. Ultimately, storytelling becomes a form of resistance and memory becomes a way of reclaiming power. The radiance of 1,000 suns is drawn from the Bhagavad Gita. It represents divine revelation and destruction and overwhelming power. In the context of the novel, it symbolizes the blazing truth buried under layers of silence. The painful memories that, when finally exposed, have the power to illuminate and burn. While the book is a masterpiece, it's not without minor flaws. Some readers may find the nonlinear narrative challenging to follow. A few characters are introduced and then fade away without full development. There are moments where the pacing slows, especially during introspective segments. However, these are small issues in an otherwise powerful novel. Read it, reflect on it, talk about it, pass it on. At last, I'll leave you with a question from the book itself. What was Jo's secret that made her one of the living dead? Thank you so much for watching. If you have read this book, drop your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear how it affected you. And if you haven't yet, tell me if you plan to pick it up. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video if you found it helpful. Until next time, keep reading, keep thinking and keep remembering.